In the name of Amen the Supreme, the All-Powerful, the one and only true Lord, in Amen we trust as the Republic of Mentellect, the true 144,000 that's being gathered in this day and time, the real new covenant, that's the NEW covenant, going forward into the future. In Amen we trust, in Amen we think, in Amen we continue forward forever. Good evening, I'm your host, the intellectual Newman Menkares. This is Mentellect Radio, and tonight we're going to be discussing what is really chakra points, or is it chakra points or channel points? First of all, before I go deep into this, the so-called conscious community and the people who study metaphysics and all of these different philosophies, and the Caucasians and the Asians, all these people over time have spoken on these points in the body known as chakras, right? These are energy points. In Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism, a chakra, I'm reading from the Wikipedia what they say this is. A chakra is thought to be an energy point or node in the subtle body. Chakras are believed to be part of the subtle body, not the physical body. Subtle body, they mean the spiritual body, because they want to get into the esoteric part of this. As such as the meeting points of subtle, non-physical energy channels called nadi, right? Energy channels. Energy channels called nadi are believed to be channels in the subtle body through which life force, prana, non-physical, vital energy, non-physical moves, right? That's the spirit energy, all the spiritual stuff. Various scriptural texts and teachings present a different number of chakras. It is believed that there are as many chakras in the subtle human body, according to tantric texts, but there are 7 chakras and that are considered to be the most important ones. All right? You got the, let me see. The word chakra derives from the Sanskrit word wheel, right? As well as a circle, right? Or cycle. Circle. And is described by many as a spinning wheel of light. Of the 88,000 chakras within the human body, 7 are considered to be the principal importance and is referred to as the major chakras. They say 88 points, 88,000 chakras, right? Power points. Circles used in a variety of senses symbolizing endless rotation, right? I'm going to stop here. What they're describing here in the so-called human body with these chakra points or these energy points and these open points are nothing but points of energy or light, right? Energy, as I explained before, cannot be utilized unless it is utilized by engineers, okay? Energy has to be manipulated by engineers, right? Just like a building has to have a builder, energy has to be manipulated by engineers. Someone has to be driving the force. Someone has to be stacking the force or the energy in a certain level, on a certain level, in order to channel codes and frequencies into it, right? So I said these are channel points. It's funny when I said that, and I didn't read this before. I'm just reading this right now. They ended up using the word channel. Ain't that funny? So channel means to push something into something, to transmit something into these points. You're transmitting something into these points that are considered to be wheels. Chakras, as they say, are rotation points, right? Now, does this go along with what I teach about how the humans were created on Earth in a rotation, and they are trapped in a limited procession of person, place, and possession, or three-dimensional state, and they move, or they are given motion or movement based on the rotation of this planet. They are animated, and this movement is throughout their body, the so-called human body, which is inanimate and made animate through engineering, through motion. So when you're talking about the manipulation of energy or these energy points that are rotating, know assuredly that they had to be started in rotation by an engineer. They had to be started in rotation by an engineer to get you moving. The same way you start a machine, you start a computer, right? It has to be programmed, and it has to start a rotation process. The rotation process is based on a numerical order, right? The same way the chakra points are based on a numerical order, because they just named 88,000 points, right? But they said there are 7 major ones. I know about the heart chakra, the mind chakra, right? The chakra that's supposed to be governing the sexual private parts, all up and down. They do the straight one from the so-called from the third eye, all the way down to your private area, your heart chakra, all this, your throat, your eyes, all this, right? Navel. These are all supposed to be major chakra points. Notice the major chakra points that they name are straight line points from the mind, right, or the third eye down to your private area. Those are considered in that straight line the major parts of it. Why is that? Because energy is channeled down through these points. Energy is traveled down through these points through the third eye, and it is dispatched throughout those, what they call those 88,000 points, right? If you are part of the human creation. Why do I say part of the human creation? Because your human creation are created beings, right? Animated beings, much like robots, much like artificial beings who have to be animated. They have to be created and then animated. They have to be given orders for movement, right? They have to have messages transmitted into these points. They have to have messages transmitted into these points in order to bring about motion or movement in a rotation. This is what they were just describing in your chakra points, right? And your East Indians, like I said, they were the first ones to, kind of bring this out, because, as I said, your East Indians are some of your first humans on the planet, right? They're really your first black race. Our people predate the so-called East Indians, but we were not considered black. They were the first black humans born on the planet. And they were taught about this energy that is transmitted by way of these engineers. They refer to these engineers as their so-called deities or gods or whatever the case may be. These were these engineers that channeled the energy into these rotative points, or what they call chakra points or channel points in the body. They had these tones, frequencies, and signals, orders, channeled into these circular points within the body that held energy. As I said before, you cannot disperse and dispatch energy unless you are an engineer. Energy is manipulated by engineers. Power is manipulated by engineers. Electricity is manipulated by electricians, right? So this all has to be manipulated in some way, shape, or form. These are all channels. These are all channels that are manipulated, right? And they tell you that you can reach the highest point of these energy fields, or a release in these energy fields that will bring total bliss, right? Even your people who are studying this transcendental meditation and this yoga and all these other things, they working along or against or trying to push within these so-called chakra points, or these energy points, to release a certain higher level of energy. They're trying to release certain levels of energy within that chakra or that wheel, within these points, right? They're trying to press down on them. They're trying to stimulate these, right? And the point of stimulating these chakra points is to get more transmission to get more energy, more power, more light, or more intelligence coming into these points, because they do it for the point of enlightenment. What is the enlightenment that they're seeking and stimulating these chakra points? Knowledge, higher knowledge, advanced knowledge. They want something outside of the wheel, or outside of the chakra, or outside of the channel that they already have. Because within those chakra points is a limited form of energy, and they're trying to break through that limited form of energy to receive something higher, thus a state of enlightenment. They're always trying to achieve a state of higher enlightenment. When they're doing the yoga, when they're doing the chanting, when they're doing all of this other stuff, right? Talking about the heart chakra and all this other stuff. Like I said, the people don't really understand, who practice this form of Hinduism, Jainism. They really don't understand what it's about. But you notice a lot of so-called black people, white people, they all get caught up into this, because a lot of you so-called black people are mixed down with East Indian and Hindu. That's why you are attracted to that whole chakra principle. It's nothing but another form of spirituality, spookism. Because without knowing totally what the point of that is, or what it actually is, and what you're actually channeling, because they got you channeling something when you were doing all of these rituals. I told people, don't do all of that yoga and stuff like that, because you're channeling different energies to come into those circles, or what they call chakras or channels. You're channeling something to come into those points, right? And you're seeking enlightenment, but you're going to channel in negative energy, right? Negative forces to come into those inside of the body, or you're opening up those circles, or what you call in chakra, those channels, to channel in negative frequency and tone and energy of beings. You channeling that in. They get you to do all this, because I said, if you notice, here in America, in the U.S., there's been a heavy influx of yoga practice here in this society over the last 10 to 15 years. Why is that? See, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. When they brought over that whole East Indian, when it got big in the 60s here in America, the whole East Indian movement of the Hinduism, the chakra points, the yoga, and all the Hindu practice, a lot of your Caucasians went over to India and got caught up and opened up in those chakra circles and those channel circles to demonic forces and demonic energy, stored energy in the earth. Ancient stored energy or demonic forces in the earth that had people being manipulated by forces or beings that were still locked into this planet. And a lot of the open vessels to this practice, or these practices, or these chants and things like that, and this chakra, and this world of the chakra or the circular energy, right, or the channeled energy, a lot of the people, they do these rituals, right, as an open vessel to this demonic or negative energy. It's the same way as when you on your knees and praying, right? You down on your knees in the prayer position. It's the same way when you sitting in a semicircle, or you sitting with your legs folded. If you're actually making yourself an open vessel, right? You're opening yourself. You sit with your hands open and your legs folded, and you are actually making yourself an open antenna for this negative energy that's coming down in those circular points within the body. You're channeling it in. Now, I said before, black people don't have chakra points. Black people don't have chakra points. We have solar systems, central solar systems. I said this before. We have souls. I said that your Caucasians, your East Indians, and Asians, they have spirits, right? And the chakra points, they work off of a spiritual or water-based energy. Now, you do got certain black people who have no soul no more. They have been converted over into spiritual beings, and the ones who are practicing this this thing, such as the chakra points, and what is they call it, the metaphysics and all that, which is, they mix it in with the in the new ageism of this yoga and things like this, and they've already traded over their souls, and they become spiritual beings, right? They've opened themselves up to these negative or demonic energies by practicing what these Caucasians, these East Indians, and Asians practice, right? Which is making themselves open vessels to that extended energy or that demonic energy that's trapped in the earth through these practices of yoga, through prayer and things that they do. It's all the same thing. Prayer, yoga, it's all opening yourself up to demonic forces, malevolent forces, malevolent beings that are trapped within the earth, and they are always looking to fill vessels. They're always looking to inhabit the body as spirit energy. And a lot of people, like I said, a lot of black people have been converted over into spiritual beings. It is possible. I'm going to do a broadcast on that, how you are able to be converted over from solar beings into spiritual beings. I'm going to get into that more. From when the fire goes out and you become a water-based being and you start moving off of water-based energy. That is very possible. You start taking on practices and doing things that have nothing to do with you. Right? Black people, they got all caught up in this because they basically saw Caucasians doing it, and that's what black people do. Like same way the white man followed religion and all these other things, and black people got into religion. The same way these Negroes got into this chakra business and this metaphysics and this sand and this chakra point system, right? This East Indian Sanskrit, right? Wheel and circle knowledge. They got into it the same way. So now I see these conscious people with the heart chakra, this and the mind chakra, the mind, the brain chakra, all this other stuff. The third eye chakra, and then some of them will swear it comes from Kemet somewhere, that they were doing some chakra point system in ancient Kemet. No, they were not. That is a lie. They were not doing that. They were not. Whenever you saw our people, they were always making reference to the sun in the ancient world, the soul, right? They were always making reference to the soul and really the mind. A lot of people say the spirit. They were not talking about a spirit. They were talking about a mind or the light around the brain, the aura or the halo or the aura, which was really their way of saying the mind. They never talked about a spirit. They talked about the soul and they talked about the mind. Right? Now, you got people into the chakra points, right? You got people into this practice of spiritualism, right? Black people. Like I said, for the human race, for the Caucasians, the East Indians, and the Asians, that's the perfect principle and practice. That's really their first religion. That is really their first religion, because religion, the beginning of religion, from the practices of yoga and things like that, that's the first and the beginnings of Eastern religion and spirituality. Then it made its way into the Greeks and the Romans and whatnot and things like that, and it mixed in with some of the stuff we was doing, and it went down there. But that's the real beginnings of religion, those practices. The heart chakra, the yoga and all this. These are some of the first religious practices. These are some of the first religious practices amongst the human race, where they were trying to learn about the flow of energy, and they were trying to manipulate that flow of energy or find out how it works, or the points of energy. Right? This was some of the first religions they were studying of the Eastern world. It made its way over into the Chinese and whatnot, where they was doing the points and whatnot. This is why they were able to do the acupuncture medicine, because they were trying to hit certain points in the body, certain energy points in the body. So they made their way over into that. Right? They made their way over into that. It's the same, like I said, it's the same principle that vibrates on that spiritual energy, right? Of being an open vessel for different types of energy to come in. They're telling you that you are trying to find these energy points and you're trying to open yourself up to these energy points, but what you're really opening yourself up to and those channels and what you're being taught to channel is demonic energy. The chakra point system works today here in America because they do certain things to raise your energy through the media. They do certain things to raise your energy through the media. Like they might put on a food show, right? And they might put on something. They might put on a show that makes you feel sad or whatever the case may be, right? And it deals with your emotions. It deals with certain points or certain things that might excite your eyes, right? However they do it with the chakras and whatnot. Things that will arouse you sexually on TV. So these are all points in your so-called chakra system or your energy point system that gets you excited, that gets you to raise that energy because they're trying to do that in some way, shape, or form through this artificial stimulation. The whole point is to convert a bunch of people who are of the soul, our people, into spirit beings and get you moving off of some water-based energy. Getting you to move off of a water-based direction, a spiritual direction. For the fire to go out and for you to go with the flow, and then eventually you become those people who are following this artificial form of energy. As they say, go with the flow. Go with the flow. The flow they're talking about is to go with the flow of energy. And what is that energy? That's that metaphysical energy. That's that spiritual energy they want you to go with. That's that chakra point system that they want you to follow. A lot of y'all sitting around here, y'all thinking you got chakra points and you trying to convert yourself over into spiritual beings by snuffing out the light in you. What is that light in you that they are telling you to snuff out through accepting the chakra point system or the channeling system? What they're trying to snuff out in you is your soul or your intelligence or your light to know that the things that they are showing you through these systems is wrong. Because you don't logic. Same thing in religion. They want you to be spiritual in religion. They want you to go with the flow or believe what it is they're telling you. So when you accept and believe what they're telling you, you're not going to question it. That's when your soul goes out, the light in you goes out, that light around your brain goes out, right? The third eye goes to sleep. That transmission goes to sleep. They want that to go out in you. That soul will go out in you, that light to go out or to be dimmed so that you can be manipulated and go with the flow of that spiritual energy of that chakra point system that is manipulated and controlled by engineers. It's controlled by engineers. These people are literally in a trance. These people are literally in a trance. The so-called human race are in a trance. They're in a trance every day. Every day they get up, they go to work, they eat, they sleep, they vote, they do all the things within this mentally controlled system. And they are manipulated by these chakra points, by these channeling points, through television, through radio. This is a new system that controls this show called chakra points. And they're trying to enact or reinstitute the old system. That's why they were pushing the yoga exercise amongst women lately. They've been pushing that as a form of exercise, and men. Why are they doing this? See, there's a reason for everything. The same reason why they're pushing veganism in this society. There's a reason for everything. They don't just do anything. Nothing just catches on as a fad. They introduce things into this society for a reason. Why? Because they want to control that flow of energy, the mental energy, the spiritual energy, and the physical energy through these checkpoints or these channel points. They want to be the ones that manipulate the energy. Your elites want to be the new engineers of this channeling system or chakra system. They want to be the new ones to engineer it through the media, through all of these things, because everything that you see and you stimulated by is basically now by the media. By what you see on TV, by what you're watching on the internet, by what you're watching or hearing on radio, everything within your so-called physical makeup is stimulated by that now. It's an artificial form of stimulation, or what you get in reading books and things and other people's theories and whatnot. This is all artificial forms of mental stimulation. And you are opened up to this, to channel this energy. You're opened up to channel this energy. You're just nothing. You're nothing more than another channel. Same way there's a cable channel, same way there's a radio channel. You are a walking physical channel of rotationary points within your body, or chakras. You become an open vessel to that because you follow it. You become an open vessel to these channel points. And the reason why they want to make you an open receiver to these channel points is so that they can send certain transmissions and suggestions into you to follow orders, to, as they say, obey. That's why in Islam, everybody is told to pray at a certain time, right? They're told to pray at a certain time 5 times a day, right? And they all do it the same way. Same way, like I said, in there, they have everybody doing yoga, lotus position, right? They call lotus. Why is this? The lotus is a flower. They want you to sit in an open position. The lotus is like an open flower. They want you to sit in an open position to receive something. What are you receiving? You are receiving suggestions, transmissions, and low frequency direction. As you are open as a circular point or a channel point, a chakra, right? You are open as a chakra, as a channel point, a circle. So when they send a suggestion into these circular points or these circular energy points that they telling you that you have in your body, what happens is constantly rotating in you. When something rotates in you, it does not leave. They want it to continuously rotate in your mind, in your heart, in your private parts, in your physical body. They want these messages to echo inside of you. Rotation is another word for echo. Rotation is another word for echo. Right? They want you to constantly repeat these things. They want you to have these things in mind constantly. It is another point. And a lot of you have channeled into this. You have channeled into this negative frequency. A lot of you have channeled into this negative frequency of chakras. You channeled into it. You are open for suggestions. A lot of you sitting around here believing you got chakra points. You so-called black people believe you got chakra points. You are following that spiritual low frequency of energy. You are following that spiritual energy. You have dimmed your light or dimmed your soul, and you are now going with the flow of the chakra system and the spiritual system through metaphysics and all these other false philosophies of the beast, which his limited understanding of life and existence, because they have a limited form of life and existence because they were created here within a time frame, and they cannot move outside the time frame. All they can do is move within it, and you are following the same thing. This is why you believe you got chakra points like them. This is why you believe you're the same as them. This is why you believe you got a spirit. You understand? This is the same reason why. You're told to dim the light of intelligence, logic, and rationale, which puts you above these belief systems. But a lot of you are not doing that. You just accepted that you got chakra points. That's it. You accepted that. You go on with the flow of that spiritual energy. A lot of you are going with it because you like how it sounds. You like doing the yoga. You like doing all of the so-called spiritual practices, which is really the same thing as religion. It's all religion. It's all religion. The energy that you're trying to release through these practices of yoga and transcendental meditation and all these other things that you're doing, right? The energy that you are releasing is also an open door for energy that you are receiving. Because in order to release something, you have to open up to receive something. In order to release something, you have to open up to receive something. Release and receive. Release and receive. And this world of polarity, even in our transmission, there's a transmission and a reception. A transmission and reception. In other words, something is going out and something is coming in. Something's going out, something's coming in. Something's going out, something's coming in. So when you are releasing something, you are receiving something. What are you releasing? You are releasing energy by doing these things, but you are opening yourself up to another form of energy and sitting in these circles and making yourself an open vessel for these circles, and in these practices, in these exercises. It is a rotation, a circle, circular points. They say you got 88,000. 88,000 points, right? Why do they say 88,000? What is the point of that? You look at the number 8, and the 8 has the circular system, right? 0 on top, 0 on bottom. That's the infinity symbol. That is the infinity symbol. The number 8 is the infinity symbol. So they got two forms of infinity side by side. So when there's an infinity symbol, what they're really saying with the infinity symbol is there is no escape. You are in the circle. You are in the circle. You are infinite. You are infinite. A lot of people think that infinite, right? Because I even put it up there wrong. A lot of people think infinite is continuous. But it is continuous within the circle. In other words, you are going in a constant rotation. True freedom, true enlightenment, or the enlightened mental, the true is that you will not return to the circle. You will constantly keep going. You will constantly keep going. There will be no rotation in the circle. There will be only a straight line. But within the spiritual realm, within the chakra system, right, and the so-called esoteric and the exoteric, because that's what the 2 8s represent. The exoteric meaning the physical body, and the esoteric meaning the spiritual body, the energy body and the physical mass body. All it is limitation, circles. Circles. Seen and unseen, but they still exist. Circles. And you are trapped within these circles of your chakra system. You're trapped within these circles of the chakra system. You understand? You are trapped within the system of these turning wheels of energy that are manipulated. The human race was manipulated by this turning energy, by these engineers that placed them here, that created them, that manipulated them, that downloaded a certain level of information into these people, right, for them to function on, and they put it in the rotation of these points within them that they call chakras or channel points. And they were always thirsty to know more beyond what they were downloaded with within their chakra system or in their channeling system. They always wanted to know more. Like I explained in one of my books to the members, I said you have people who have, I explained it like a television, and you have a television that has limited channels. That station, that channel you might have from channel 1 to channel 12, but then other extended TVs with other systems, other channeling systems have 13 and out and further, but the one from 12 always wants to know what's on channel 13, what's on channel 14. I'm just using this as an example. These people have a limited form of channeling within their chakras, within their chakra or their channel points. Their tone and their frequency is limited. Their movement is limited within these chakra points, and they are limiting you by getting you to follow this. You're being limited by following this, by them telling you that you are a spiritual being and to go with the flow of the chakra system of motion or circular movement. They're limiting you by doing this. And a lot of you so-called black people are following this. This system is only meant for the Caucasians, the East Indians, and the Asians. They're the only ones with chakra points. I explained that a long time ago, over a year and a half ago, that they're the only ones with chakra points, but you're following the chakra point system. You don't have chakra points. You don't have chakra points. But see, y'all don't see that because you've dimmed the light of your solar plex. You've dimmed it because you're trying to fit in with these people. You're trying to be just like these people. So in order to be like these people, you have to dim the light within yourself. You have to dim the soul within yourself to fit within the flow of these people. You have to fit within the spiritual energy and the water-based energy of these people. You have to act like them. You have to believe you have chakra points. You have to follow the chakra system. You have to believe you have a heart chakra, a mind chakra, eye chakra, whatever the hell chakras you claim you got, up and down. You have to believe that. And a lot of you have believed that. And you people who believe this, that you are part of this chakra system, you know different than the black Christians and the Muslims and the black Israelites who believe that the God of the white man, their gods that they created in the Greco-Roman pantheon, are your gods. You believe that the chakra system is your system, and it is not. The solar system is your system, not the chakra point system. The chakra point system is for animated objects, and that is what your humans are in all actuality. They are animated objects, meaning that they were once not moving and they were given motion. This is what they talk about when, in the beginning of the Genesis. I just use this as a reference point where they said God blew into man and man became a living soul and he started to move and have animation. In other words, he gave man his energy or his power to move about. That's what he did to the created man. He took an inanimate object and gave it motion or animation. But the animation is limited and it's artificial and it is limited within those circle points of what they're describing as chakra or channel points. It's limited. It's not extended like ours is supposed to be. Why? Because we have a solar complex in us. And where's the sun? The sun is beyond Earth. We have something in us that is beyond the Earth. Everything that's within the human race is on Earth. We have the essence of us is beyond Earth. The essence of the human race, the Caucasians, the East Indians, and the Asians is right here on Earth where they were created, which is water, which I said was an artificial element. I want to take a call. 910.
Yo, what's up, Newman? How you doing?
How you doing?
Yo, man, I just want to say thank you because I listen to you, and I've been dealing with marijuana, smoking weed for years, but you said something to me that stood out, and it stopped me from smoking weed. You told me that I have an ascension, like a future generation that's already real, that's like my angels, they're protecting me. So as I started thinking about that, that made me stop smoking weed because I'm like thinking, what am I doing to myself? And nobody ever made a light come on like that in my head to where it woke me up. And only you did. That's why I know you got to be special, something that you here for. And it's you really helping a lot of people that listen to you because no church can help me the way you help me. I don't know how to explain it, but you literally made me stop doing drugs. Like, I thought about my kids and how that's affecting them or it's going to affect them. And just by you bringing that up, like in your show, like the ascension, how they, your kids and their kids is real. And, even how you talk about things like, I'm from Brooklyn, but even though how you talk about everything you be talking about is to raise the people, to raise, and it deals with stuff that can help you,
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say thank you, Newman.
Word. And come on out to class Sunday.
I can't wait to come to Brooklyn so I could be a part of the state of Intellect because I'm actually going to come there so I can come out to Fulton Street or wherever y'all at and become a member. At least I want to be a member.
Okay, we're going to be at 1368 Fulton Street. That's Bed-Stuy Restoration Plaza on the first floor from 3 to 7. So, come on out. It's free. That's my way of giving back to bring the bright race and wake up our people and bring the bright race together. So we do these classes. Come on out. Like I said, we are now the Republic of Mentellect. It's no more State of Mentellect or State of Mentellect. It's the Republic of Mentellect. But you're more than welcome to come out, brother.
Okay, brother. One more question. Where do you go to hear your shows or your shows at? Is it Blog Talk Radio?
You can go on Blog Talk Radio, on Mentellect Radio to hear all the back shows, or you can go to Mentellect Radio on YouTube because one of our brothers is putting up the broadcast. He's trying to.
Dinar.
He's putting them up. No, not Dinar, not him.
Oh.
He's not a part of us. He has nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
The brother by the name of Maurice Z. Adams, he's putting up all the broadcasts. Don't go to Mentellect TV. That has nothing to do with me. That is a bootleg station. That's run by Dinar Mendar. He's not a part of the Republic of Mentellect. You go to Mentellect Radio on YouTube or Mentellect channel to see the videos. 144. Okay.
Okay. All right. Hey man, Nuben, keep up the good work, man, and don't listen to them haters because all you doing is helping the people. You helping raise your people's intelligence, and I even teach. I put other people on. I'm like, yo, go to State of Mentellect and listen to Nuben. The brother's going to help
Mentellect
you.
Radio, Mentellect Radio. We don't use the state no more. Mentellect Radio.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You have a good evening. All right.
What's your name, brother?
Oh, my name is Tony. You got like an email, like an email address you give out?
Yeah. Go to nmazar99@yahoo.com.
Got it. Right here.
All right. Or just friend me on Facebook. If you on Facebook, send me a friend request. All right.
Okay. All right.
All right, brother. See you Sunday. Peace. All right. It's always nice to be appreciated. Always nice to be appreciated. I tell people that I say, when you do things, because black people don't tend to think about the future. When black people getting high, you smoking weed and stuff like that, you're not only affecting yourself, but you're affecting your future bloodline, your future descendants, your children. You're affecting them. Especially with this strong marijuana that they're putting out today, it's meant to destroy your genetics. It's meant to destroy your children. So I'm glad the brothers saw that, and I hope I'm doing my job in reaching those who are meant to be members of the bright race to come. We're going to get a lot of new, strong, young soldiers that's coming out there. Where I told the brothers when we was out here promoting, I said, we're going to be the new OGs, man. This is for the future. This is a future movement, and a lot of young people we touching right now, waking up in this generation. A lot of the people that's around our age, like I said, a lot of them, they are lost cause, man. Y'all all caught up in this nonsense here in this society, so we're not even, Mentellect is not even for the majority of the people here in this day and time of, who around our age, only because they made up their mind to stay caught up within the black race. They want to stay black. We're not teaching black people. We're here to teach the bright race. So, we moving on. Anyway, one of the things black people are fascinated with, along with spirituality, religion, is this chakra system and this form of metaphysics and things like that. They fascinated by this. This is all a form of spirituality. But don't believe black people, or don't believe nothing black people say when they say they're not into spookism. They're very much into it because they don't even know how this chakra point system works. And it is a system. It is a system. I'm using the right description of it. It is a system, because it was set up to be a system in which humans would have certain knowledge channeled into them in circular points, certain forms of motion, movement channeled into them through orders and certain points, right? And it is going into that right now. It's set up that way, and it's going to continue to be set up that way, but the channeling is always going to be limited, right? Channeling, even the white man knows. Like I said, I never read that before, and I did the title of, is it channel points or chakra points? Is it really chakra points or channel points? Channel points. I never even seen that, but even then, they figured out now what they were talking about. These places in which energy can be pushed into or channeled into, right, and stored, because these circular systems, these chakra systems within the body are meant to be storehouses for certain levels of information. Because that's all the energy holds. The energy holds levels of information. It holds levels of order or command for the humans to follow. Right? Now, what is your human trying to do when they do your? They always trying to extend that form of energy. I'm gonna give you a good example of what I'm talking about. Now, your joints can only bend but so far. Right? It's already in the makeup and design of the joints to bend but so far. But what do your humans try to do when they start getting into the whole chakra system? They're trying to extend the bending or the elasticity. They're trying to extend the limitation in which the joints bend. This is why, if you notice, when they always doing these crazy stretches and they bending their knees against the joints and stuff like that, because they're trying to go beyond the circular system of which they are limited by movement. They're trying to go beyond that. That's why they're doing all of this bending and bending back. Because ask yourself, what is the point of that? They'll say, oh, it's to release energy and do this, that, and the third, and stretch, and it's a good exercise. No, they're trying to break the limitation within the circle of channeling energy or channeled energy that they've been allotted. They're trying to break it. They're trying to go beyond it, and they're not really meant to go beyond it. They're not meant to go beyond that circular, limited form of energy that's channeled into these points, these chakras or these circles. They're not meant to break those, but as you humans do, they're always going to go against nature. As humans do, they're always going to go against nature. You understand? They're always going to try and go against it in some way, shape, or form. They're always going to try to go beyond where they were supposed to go. They're always going to try and break those limitations. You were given those limitations for a reason. Your leg was only meant to extend to a certain point, or your spine or your arms were only meant to extend to a certain point for a reason. But they will try to go against it, and they will try to bend against it. It's the same thing with them trying to find that enlightenment. They're always trying to go beyond those certain levels or channels that they were allotted, or those chakras, those turning circles that they were allotted energy within. But the ones who channeled that energy within those systems, those omni beings that channel energy within those circular systems or those rotative systems or those chakra systems, only meant to give them but so much, because they knew that the humans would become destructive. They knew that the humans would become destructive. If they discovered a new or an extended knowledge, they would be destructive with it, because they're not used to it. They're only used to thinking in limitation, and not to mention the fact that they still have the animal genetic in them. So they would be destructive with that which they've learned. Our people was going to be groomed into higher states of intel because we had the mind of these advanced beings, these Amen beings. We had the mind of that reptilian genetic in us. So we were supposed to be more responsible for the knowledge that we were getting outside the circle, outside the box. We were supposed to be more responsible with it, but we became malevolent like these people. We became malevolent like the humans, and we started to follow their ways and their direction. Thus, you got these people who believe they got chakra points. They are now moving on, operating on a spiritual system. They now going with the flow. They following religion. They following homosexuality. They following lesbianism. All the things that are unnatural, they following. All the things that are unnatural, they following. You humans want to break the natural order. You humans are looking to break the natural order through this practice of stimulating the chakra points. They looking to break it. They looking to raise the channeling. They're looking to raise the channel points. They want to raise it higher. This is the enlightenment they're looking for. And they will do anything to raise it, even if it means taking energy from you, sucking the energy out of you, the so-called black man and black woman, which they are doing. Because they know you are the only ones who carry the energy or the solar energy that is beyond this planet. You're the only ones that carry it, not them. Everything that they carry is on Earth. Everything that they carry is limited to this planet. They don't have a soul. Your Caucasians, your East Indians, and Asians don't have souls. They don't have a solar complex. They don't have that solar plex within there. They have spirits. That's why they go with the flow and they move within a trance. They move in a trance. We're supposed to move in a transmission. They move in a trance. Though a lot of you have now been fooled into moving in a trance now, and you think like them, you act like them, you read the same books they read, you got the same hang-ups they got, it's because you move off of that circular or chakra system. You move off of it. It's a system. It's a system of manipulated energy. That's all. The heart chakra. I heard a certain person mention the heart chakra. Right? You Negroes get heavy into that. You get heavy into that chakra system, that circular system of limited energy. That's why you don't have the ability to think. All you can do is believe. Believing is heavily is a heavy part of the foundation of the chakra system. Going with the flow, going with what's channeled into you or programmed into you to follow, with no extensive knowledge on it, no extensive intelligence on it, no reason why you're doing it, no real reason, no countdown, no count up. It all has a purpose. It all has a purpose. And like I said, a lot of people are not tuned into it. Even a lot of you guys that got into Islam, and that whole chakra point system snuck its way into Islam. Because that whole chakra practice and that whole East Indian traditional practice, a lot of your so-called Muslims who founded these different sects of Islam, these East Indians, they snuck the chakra point system in there. And that's where a lot of you guys got that Sufism from. A lot of your practices in Sufism comes from the East Indians. A lot of Islam, even your so-called Islam, has been invaded by these East Indians who were practicing the chakra point system. They brought it into the higher spiritual, so-called high spiritual orders of Sufism in Islam. That's why they sit in lotus position and do all of this other nonsense, chanting in the lotus position, and they have their hands open on their laps because they opening themselves up to those demonic energies. They feel that those demonic energies are going to take them to another level. Nirvana. We're gonna get back. We're gonna get into that when we come back. And we are back. The thing that we're supposed to be channeling in is solar transmission, not lunar trance or transcendental, lunar transcendental meditation. We're not supposed to be channeling in the lunar transcendental connection. And that's how the chakra points work. They turn within a limited form. It's always these people introducing you to this because they want you to basically move on the same channel that they're moving on. They want you to move in the same channel and in the same limitations that they move on. You ever notice whenever you come into, let's say, for example, a so-called black man comes into Islam, right? He comes into the Orthodox Islam. He has to basically give up his soul. What do I mean by that? He has to stop being a quote-unquote black man, one with rhythm, one with soul, or black woman. They have to stop being people with rhythm and soul and energy and whatever, and they have to become like these Arabs. They have to become black versions of the pale Arabs or the East Indian Arabs. So you have to become like them. Pretty soon, you so-called black men got hair all over your face, dyeing your beard red. You start becoming a carbon copy of them. You start becoming a carbon copy of them. You give up the essence of who you are, the soul in you, the essence of who you are, and you start becoming them. So they've converted you over into their circular system of limitation. They've converted you into their chakra system or their spiritual religious practice. Then they start you Negroes off in the whole, when you got into the Hindu thing, you start off, next thing you know, you start off and you start doing the yoga and all this other stuff. You don't question why you're doing the yoga. You start trying to bend your joints back. You start trying to act like these people. You start trying to be taking on their titles and things like that. So your soul and anything about your soul practice goes out the window. So-called black people are the only ones who convert themselves over to chakra or limited form of spiritual systeming, right? This conversion of soul to spirit. You're the only ones to convert yourself over to that. You lessen yourself or lower yourself from the natural state to the unnatural state. And that's what the chakra system represents when you, as a so-called black man and so-called black woman, go into these states of this chakra system, or this spiritual system of chakra energy and chakra points. You start in the lower or lesser yourself. You start acting like these people. It's the same thing, like I said, when black men go into Islam and they go into the Orthodox Islam and Sunniism or Sufism, they start becoming like these Arabs. And all of the so-called black of the soul or whatever goes out of them, and they start acting like these people. Or they get into Christianity and they start acting like white people. You start acting like a bunch of damn Caucasians in blackface. All the soul go out of you. And you start going with the flow. Following the spiritual practice. Go to a white church, y'all start acting like white people. You go to the Catholic church, you start acting like a bunch of Caucasians. Or you go into the whole the Judaism thing. Well, I said the Israelites, I'm the only one, they act like niggas. That's one thing I'll say about them. The Israelites, they act like niggas even in the Israelite thing. They act like niggas. But you have this guy like Shine. He a good example. He get with amongst the Orthodox Jews, and this nigga start walking around wearing black and walking around acting like like an Orthodox Jew. He won't deal with the Israelites, the black guys. He'll go act like the Orthodox Jews. Like I said, this whole chakra point system and this whole conscious chakra point metaphysical nonsense that y'all follow is no different. Y'all try to put a little bit of black consciousness on it, but it's the same Hindu nonsense. It's the same limited, spiritualized, watered down systeming of belief and spirituality that you all are practicing. That's all. Doing yoga and all of these spiritual practices. Half you become Buddhist, because all that's still part of the whole chakra point system too. The whole Buddhism thing is part of it too. The Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Y'all saying that you don't even know what the hell you calling on. You don't know what you calling on. You don't know what you aligning yourself with when you do that. You bending your body in different positions and whatnot, stretching your back and all this other stuff, and he's saying, oh, this is good for this is good for that, and this releases this energy, this, and then releases this energy, that, and you become looser and you become more when you could just basically stretch. When you're doing these stretches 9 times out of 10, they want you to chant something. They want you to sit in lotus position. They want you to close your eyes and meditate because you're opening yourself and you're waiting for something to happen. You're channeling something, and you don't even know what you're channeling. Let me take another call. 217.
Good evening. Something you had mentioned that it hit a part of me that made me wanted to just give you a comment. You had said that when you have a lot of black people joining up with the Christian church, joining up with these chakra movements and so forth, that they're basically just turning themselves over to that system and becoming a part of whatever that is and giving up their soul. And I couldn't agree more. I never thought about it with the chakra the way that you're explaining it tonight, but I thought about it a whole lot with the religion, and I'm glad that you're bringing the chakra system into it as well, because I never thought about it that way.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's no different. You have to check your soul at the door. When you black, you got to check your soul at the door. You have to stop being who you are, and you have to fit in or go with the flow of energy of these people. Right? You have to go with the flow of energy of these people. You have to operate within a limited box, so you never totally find out who you are. This is why in the Republic of Mints, like we get into the bright order and we going further into Aminism. As we go into Aminism, we going further out with the solar or the bright order, the solar order or the soul order, and we're going to extend ourselves, mind, body, and soul in our own orders, in our own bright orders, and our solar orders within Aminism or in the Republic of Mints, like through Aminism, we're going to extend ourselves, and we're going to open that order up to only members of the Republic of Mentellect. We're going to have our own solar orders. We're going to have our own solar orders that's going to be moving in a linear procession, not in any circular procession or procession like these chakra point systems or the metaphysical position, or the metaphysical movements. We're not doing that. Those are not our systems. Has nothing to do with us. We're supposed to be extending the reality and we're supposed to be extending the reality of who we are as soul people, as solar people. We're supposed to be extending that. But what we are doing instead is we are snuffing out that light, the soul and the essence of who we are, and we are being made over into spiritual people through these practices. Through these practices. I had a member who was here in the Republic of Mentellect, and she kept talking about some damn yoga this and yoga that. We don't do that in here. We don't do that in here. We don't do no yoga. We don't do spiritual practice in here. But I ain't telling nobody, but people, black people want to do what they want to do because they're attracted to them systems. They're attracted to them systems. They can't let them go, just like Christianity. And like I said, this same person was all linked into the Bible. But like I said, you linked up in these systems. So they never really truly understand Amen or have an ultra-standing of Amen or have an ultra-standing of the soul. They don't get it. It bypasses all of these things. All of these things are bypassed. You understand? And they're bypassed within these special rituals, special orders, these rituals. These things, where these things stop is where Amen starts. Where these things stop is where Amen starts. And we're supposed to be moving alongside of, not with these orders. We're supposed to be moving alongside of, separate from these orders, within our own orders, within our own solar orders. And we're going to give the solar and bright and mental instruction and direction within our orders, within our bright orders, within our solar movement. We're going to be given the orders within our solar order. Because, like I said, within our solar movement. Because, like I said, everything is now spiritual in this thing. Like I said, the Caucasians and them, the high up elites, they done made everything. They done took out the mind, body, and soul, and everything now is mind, body, and spirit. But y'all missed that. You missed that. You missed that big time. I wanted to point something out the other day. Breaking topic for a second. When I went to go see me and Sister Sandira checked out. We checked out what's the movie? Hidden Figures. Those of you who checked out Hidden Figures, you might have missed something key in the movie. In the movie, NASA is supposed to be 1961, right? In the movie, NASA had got the first IBM, one of the first IBM computers, the International Business Machine. Now, before they got the IBM, the International Business Machine, because the computer was supposed to be used for computing numbers, right? But before they got that, they would use a group of black women who were in the basement, who were basically the computer. They used the black women. They had a group of black women who was the computer. They were the physical computer because they didn't have a computer to compute numbers as fast yet. So they had the black women doing it. And then when they got the IBM computer, it took the black women to program the computer. Peep that. Now, here's the funny part. The character, I forget what her name is, the heavyset sister in there. Those of you know her name. The heavyset sister in there, when the white woman said that she was going to get rid of, once the computer was up and going, they said that they was going to get rid of Octavia something. Spencer, I think her name is Octavia Spencer. When the white woman told her in the picture, she said that when the computer, the IBM gets up and going, they're going to get rid of all the black women who was doing the computation work in the basement, right? So her name is Octavia Spencer. So what the black woman said was they showed the black women programming the computer, right? And then Octavia Spencer said something. Well, let me. Dr. York said something before. I'm gonna go into why she said it. Dr. York said the computer in Brussels, Belgium, is known as the IBM Dragon or the Beast. He referred to that computer. It's known as the Beast, right? The 3,000, and the number of it is 3,666, right? They call it the Beast. in Brussels, Belgium. In the movie, Octavia Spencer said when they got that computer back in 1961, she said, "Oh, they're not going to get rid of us. They need somebody to program that beast." That's what she said, and it blew my mind. She says they're going to need somebody to program that beast. Go back and watch the picture. You understand? Why did she say that? Go back and watch. She said they're going to need somebody. They used it. Obviously, that really had to happen, because why would they throw that in if it didn't really happen like that? Why would they throw it in to show you that the black women programmed the computer? The same computer that now got linked to the computer in Brussels, Belgium, that has everybody's name and number in that computer on the planet. The beast. She called it the beast back in, and they was calling it the beast. So what did that tell you? I'm gonna just leave you with that, cause I just wanted to put that out there before I forget it, because it's crazy how she said it, right? Go back and watch, you'll see. Anyway, there's a reason why Dr. York got locked up. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Anyway, and it wasn't no child molestation, but anyway, back to this chakra thing. The chakra point system is a system that works on threes. It works on threes. They don't. It's the extension of it is only three. That's it. It works on three. Right? Person, place, and possession. Right? They keep trying to unlock a higher or a vertical power outside the circle, right? Because when you have the circular power, when you move in that circular power, there's always the want and the desire to move outside of it, breaking the path. Like I said, even when you see them doing the yoga and they bending their joints against the natural alignment in which the joints were meant to go to a certain physical limitation of, they're trying to break out of that box. That's a form of breaking the box, trying to break into something else. They know there's something higher, and that the box that they're trying to break into is that solar state, or that solar state of higher or physical. They're trying to break into that. That's the state of enlightenment. They want to break into that enlightened mental state where it is unrecognizable. See, your people in your chakra point system, they understand the light. They understand the light. They've made themselves the light of the world. They made themselves the beacon of the world. In other words, as a way to lead the people. Because, see, you become the light by how you lead. Right? You become the light based on the fact that you lead others. You become the light, or the beacon, of what they call the beacon of light. That when you are in the front, you become the light. But when you are beyond the front, when there is no longer a back or a front, and you are ahead of the back and the front, you become part of the brightness. And they are seeking the brightness beyond being in front, right? They want to go from the infinite to the eternal. The eternal is the bright light, or the brightness. That's the enlightenment that they're looking for. They don't refer to it as enlightenment, but that's what they're looking for, the break from the box. They know it's something beyond that. They're looking to figure out can they move into the state of eternity, enlightened mental. And that's what we're going to start talking about soon. Not here on this broadcast, but we're going to start talking about the enlightened mental, beyond the light, ahead of the light, before you can see it and visualize it as light, before you start to read it as light. See, in the movie, and that's another reason why I brought it out. In the movie, the lady kept saying, you got to see beyond the math that's in front of your face. She kept saying that. You got to see beyond what's in front of your face. I told you that you so-called black men and black women, if you have your solar plex in order, you can see things that the rest of the human race can't see. They know that about you. They already know. There's certain things you can see if your soul is intact. If your solar plex is intact, there's going to be things that you can see that they can't see. That is beyond physical. The things that you kept talking about, metaphysics, they don't even understand the first principles. They don't understand the principles of metaphysics because it's a limited principle. They trying to look beyond the physical, but everything they do is within the physical realm because they were created in the physical realm. They keep telling you spiritual, but spiritual's within the physical realm because the spiritual is controlled by water. So all of this is in the physical realm. The only thing that's beyond the physical realm is the solar energy or the solar power. That is beyond the physical world. Why? Because where's the sun? Beyond the earth. It is beyond the earth. By the time it reaches the planet, you see it as light. And even then, you can't even look at it. It's still a blinding light. Like I said, by the time it reaches this planet, it transmits as light. But beyond that is its brightness. Things that you cannot recognize, things that you cannot see, but you have to adjust your eyes to see them. If you are in alignment by way of the soul, then you can see beyond these things within the physical realm of beyond darkness and beyond light. There's a third stage, and that is beyond your chakra point system. Your chakra point system is based on light and dark. Your chakra point system is based on light and dark, and just light and dark are the polarities of this planet are limits. There's limits. We're going to take one more break before we come to an end, and we shall be right back. The 7 chakra points for beginners. The root chakra represents our foundation and feeling of being grounded. Location, base of the spine and tailbone area. Survival issues such as financial independence, money, and food. More on the root chakra. Healing. Sacral chakra, sacral. Our connection and ability to accept others and new experiences. Location, lower abdomen about 2 inches below the navel and 2 inches in sense of abundance, well-being, pleasure, and sexuality. Right? Solar plex chakra. Our ability to be confident and in control of our lives. Right? Upper abdomen in the stomach area. Emotional issues, self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem. Solar plex. That's one thing they incorporated in that was ours. Heart chakra. Our ability to love. Location, center of the chest, just above the heart. Right? Love, and joy, and inner peace. Right? First of all, this idea. See, this is how you know this is all nothing but theoretical theories and whatnot and philosophies of man. Because who told you that the heart has anything to do with love? Who told you the heart has anything to do with other than pumping blood and and distributing blood throughout the body and whatnot? What makes you think the heart has anything to do with love and affection and whatnot? That's a bunch of nonsense, man. So, but this is what black people believe in. This is nothing but a bunch of philosophical and theoretical nonsense, spiritual nonsense, right? Anyway, the throat chakra, our ability to communicate. Location, throat. Communication, expression, and feelings and truth. Third eye chakra, our ability to focus on and see the big picture. Forehead between the eyes, the so-called brow chakra. Intuition, imagination, wisdom, stability to think and make decisions. You notice how they'll take certain things and they'll mix in the truth with lies. Now they took the third eye, right? And then they took the soul. Now the soul is number 3, and the third eye, which is the mind, is number 6. 6 and 3 equals 9. Right? 6 and 3 equals 9. Number 7 is the crown chakra. The highest chakra represents the ability of fully connected spirituality. Spiritual. Location, at the very top of the head. That's the open seat, the crown seat, right? Where they say, this is where your demons enter at. This is where your demons enter, right at the top of the head, right? Where you open yourself up for them, and they enter in through the top. Enter in outer beauty or connection to spirituality. I told you spirituality really represents special rituals. and pure bliss. So you open yourself up at this highest part on top of your head, right? Your crown, where usually is when a baby is born, that place usually stays soft to the crown, right? And it's open even to certain points. Sometimes it's still somewhat soft up there. You can still press on it, and it's still soft up there, right? And at certain points, you will feel it vibrating and moving about. You could still feel it. It'll still be a soft spot there, right? When in the cranium. This is where all of your spiritual and low frequency energies move into you. Those demonic or negative or malevolent forces take over and move into you, right? Through what they call the crown chakra, right? Or that crown seat or that channel that they come in on. The number 7. They channel into that spot. Right? But then they talk about the ability, because the third eye chakra is nothing but the mind. That's all. It's the mind. Right? The third eye is nothing but the mind and the soul. So they take the real things that are ours and they incorporate it into the rest of their artificial, open, or physical points of energy. They take the very real things and channel it in to what they're doing. So this is what attracts a lot of our people, because we get linked in by the soul or the sun or the energy, and we're like, oh, okay, that's familiar to me. You know, the third eye is familiar to me, and you'll accept the rest of it. You'll accept the rest of it. And it's a way to lure you into the spiritual side of this chakra system or this channel point system. It's the same way, like, for example, they'll put certain things, a foundation of certain things within a church or within a black, within an organization that's run by white people. They'll put certain things in there that will attract other races of people, right? And you'll be like, okay, I'm familiar with that. I recognize that, so I'll come to it based on that. So they'll put things dealing with the soul and with the mind in there that have very much to do with us, but then they'll put their stuff on top of it. The heart, the throat, and all this other stuff. You know, the deception of love, the deception of speech, all the things they put on that. They consider those important things because this is the way they deceive people. They deceive people through love. They telling you that love comes from the heart, an organ or a muscle that pumps blood throughout your body. That's deception. That's a lie. That has nothing to do with loving anybody. That has nothing to do with that, any affection to anybody. Throat, the ability to communicate, communication. How do they deceive people in this society? Through communication. Television, radio, media. These are the things they find to be special points. Right? Right? These are the things they find to be special points. Then they said the root chakra, base of the spine and the tailbone. Right? The base of the spine and the tailbone, which is really your sex organs. It's around where your sex organs are at. Sex is your root chakra. Right? Our connection to chakra, which is the connection, the ability to accept others and new experiences. Right? What they tell you supposed to be tolerance, which is a big thing. They try to say, oh, you have to be tolerant of others, when they really not. That's a false. See, these are all false representations of that chakra point system, because they don't even believe that. They don't believe in they don't believe in accepting anything from people. They don't believe in that, or they'll accept it as a way to manipulate it, right? Or, like I said, the thing that they try to control people through is through that root chakra, which is sex, right? They took your solar plex because they don't have souls, so they wanted to incorporate that in. The heart chakra, again, that's dealing with deception, because the heart has nothing to do with love. Our ability to love, it has nothing to do with love. Nothing. They want to make the heart synonymous with emotion, right? The throat chakra, the communication, like I said, they deceive through communication. So they take deception and lies and mix it with some truth, right? That's how they do that. So again, our people get caught up in this, and when you are caught up in this, they create this polarity. Once you start mixing truth with lies, you create a polarity. Once you start to mix truth with lies, you create a polarity. This is why they mix truth with lies. They want to create a polarity in which you will be locked into. You understand? Because if they just straight up told you the truth, then the truth would not even, it would translate into something higher than the truth. You understand? The truth, when you just tell straight truth, the truth starts to translate into reality. When you tell it logical and rational, give the logical and rational breakdown of something, as truth, it translates into reality. The more and more truth you tell, without any lies, without any of your, your spin on it, you give it as it is logically and rationally. You give it as it is logically and rationally, then it becomes reality. But if you take it like they do, and you give a little bit of lies, and you give a little bit of truth, you give a little bit of made-up philosophy, and you give a little bit of the truth in there, then it creates a polarity. And when it creates a polarity, you trapped in that polarity. Because I told you the polarity is the prison. The polarity is the trap. The polarity is what keeps you going through rituals, spinning in the circle. Did they not say that the chakra is nothing but a circle? How do you think the circle keeps rotating? Through balance. And what is the balance? Good, bad, lies, truth, black, white. That's how it keeps rotating. Equality. They want to keep the thing running off of positive and negative. That's how your chakra system works. They have to feed lies into it and some of the truth into it to keep a balance. Deception. And a lot of you are caught in the deception because if you're not going to tell the whole truth, because in the higher orders of the white man, he'll go, I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God, because he knows the only way to reach the highest point of the Most High, of the Lord, of the Creator, of the engineers, is by telling the truth, by constantly telling the truth in order to make it a reality and make your connection with these higher beings a reality. But as long as you are following a ritual or a spiritual practice within this chakra system that is based on good and bad, truth and lies, black and white, positive and negative, as long as you following these polarities, there's a limitation there. You will never get on that path to total truth, which will be reality. You'll never know what's real. You'll never know what's real. That's how this thing works. This is what keeps you in the so-called matrix. Positive and negative, black and white. Equality. That's what keeps you in the matrix. That's what keeps you following the chakra system, because it is a system. It is an imprisoned system of energy. It's an imprisoned system of energy. And the only way to break out of that is through that solar plex or that solar complex. That's the only way to break out of that. Where you go from the state of equality to the state of supremacy. Supremacy is a constant, ongoing thing that has no opposite. It has no polar opposite. Supremacy has no polar opposite. You understand? That's where you have to go. And a lot of people don't want to go there. They don't think that's real. They trying to teach you to be equal here. And like I said, a lot of these so-called films of today, especially these so-called black films, they reek of people who are trying to fit in. They reek of people who are trying to convert themselves. They reek of people who are seeking equality. So based on that seeking of equality, that's why you're going to get trapped off in the matrix. You're trying to fit in. You're trying to go with the flow. And what is the flow? The flow is spiritual energy. What is part of that spiritual energy? The chakra system. It's a prison system. It's a spiritual prison system. The chakra system is a spiritual prison system where there is no escape. The people who practice the whole chakra point thing, they're looking to escape. And y'all already were born free, but you put yourself in the damn prison. You put yourself in it by trying to be a part of something that has nothing to do with you. Just like you put yourself in religion, in Christianity, up under a white God and a white Jesus, just like you put yourself up under up under Islam, under a white Messiah or a white prophet named Muhammad or Fard or whatever you calling them, Or just like you put yourself up under some god of these people, or share some book with these people who are trapped in this book. It's the same thing with the chakra system. It's the same thing with this yoga garbage. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They got you doing things trying to free yourself, and you were born free. But you still doing this garbage as a spiritual practice. Because it relaxes you, because you've been conned into going with the flow. They tell you, go with the flow. Go with the flow of energy. They always tell you, go with the flow of energy. Be one with the energy. Go with the flow of energy. What they're really saying is follow the system. That's what they're really saying. Follow the system that we set up. The system that is based on polarity. The system that is based on truth and lies. You got a heart chakra. The hell is a heart chakra? Oh, it's based on you loving people. Your heart has nothing to do with that. That's a deception. But that's what it's all about, deceiving. That's what it's all about. Spirituality is all about deception. The chakra system, the limited chakra system, is all about deception. But a lot of our people miss it because you're so busy going with the flow. You got people that look like you that's introducing this nonsense to you. This ain't got nothing to do with us. This got everything to do with the white man, the East Indian, and the Asians. That's their system. That's their system. That has nothing to do with you. But like I said, a lot of black people ain't gonna listen. That's all right. They ain't gonna listen. They ain't meant to hear. The majority of the people ain't meant to hear. It's okay. But for those of our people who are of the bright, those of our people who are of the soul and of the brightness, you hear me just fine. You know exactly what I'm saying. The people who are above the light and above the darkness, you know exactly what I'm saying. And why I'm saying what I'm saying. So let me go ahead and read these questions before we get out of here. I hope everyone was, got a proper understanding of what I was putting across tonight. What are chakra points? Circular systems of energy within the body, within the human body. They are very real. They are circular points of energy. And in those circular points of energy are stored limited levels of knowledge for humans in order for them to move about. Right? They have a limited form of movement and animation. That's why, if you notice, like I said, when you see white people, East Indians, and Asians, they don't have a natural rhythm to them or an extended rhythm to them. They all move like robots when it comes to dancing, when it comes to boxing and things like that. They have a limited movement to them. It's not to take a shot at them, but they do. They know it. They'll say it themselves that they don't have no rhythm. They got to watch you, and even when they watch you, they mimicking you. And they mimic you. What are channel points? Channel points are those same systems, or those circular systems that transmission, tone, and frequency are channeled into, right? As in orders, directions. They're channeled into them, and it stays in a rotation within the people so that it's constantly echoing in them so they can hear it and follow these orders that are transmitted by way of a trance to them, as aka transcendental meditation. Transcendental meditation, trance. They have to put themselves in a state of reception or sleep state, somewhere on a lower level. Where did the idea of the chakra points chakra points come from? From the East Indians, the Hindus. They were the first ones to figure out or be taught that they move on a procession of circular motion. That your humans move on a procession of circular motion. And they have energy centers in the body, or energy circles in the body in which certain levels of energy are stored in or being pushed in to these circles. Why do people believe in these seats within the body? Because the East Indian system of energy is one of the oldest systems, or one of the oldest spiritual doctrines out there, and it has made its way into a lot of these religious systems of today. It's made its way into Islam through the Sufi system. It's made its way into into a lot of your Eastern philosophies and things like that, your Buddhism and things like that. It's made its way into even into Christianity through the way y'all pray. That's really from them. Your prayer comes from them. Your prayer when you on your knees praying and begging God comes from these East Indians and their chakra point system and their yoga and all. It's all the same thing, man. You sitting on your knees, your legs folded, you on your knees, opening yourself for something. It's the same thing, right? Do black people have chakra points? I said no, you don't. But you are following the spiritual energy of those who do. You are converting yourself by way of that energy. You're converting yourselves by way of that energy. And you're going to continue to convert yourselves by way of that energy, and thus you're losing your soul. You're losing your solar energy and your solar power. Like I said, when you get involved in these systems, you lose yourself. You lose your soul, the essence of who you are, and you start moving within that spiritual energy or that spiritual form of limitation. When you follow metaphysics, when you follow transcendental meditation, when you're doing this yoga, you are sacrificing your own souls. You are cutting off your solar transmission. You're cutting it off. Beware of these black devils out here who are trying to get you to do that. Beware of these people. They got you doing yoga in the mornings, at night, family yoga. Be aware of that. And that's it. Join us Wednesday night for the next Mentellect Radio broadcast. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkarayzz. This has been Mentellect Radio. Join us Wednesday night for the next broadcast, and catch Sister Sandera on Thursday at 10. And we'll be at the Restoration Plaza this Sunday in Brooklyn, New York from 3 to 7. It's free. Come on out. Good night.
It's the Republic of Mentellect, rising out the black race to the white race, out the black race to the white race. It's the Republic of Mentellect, black race to the white race. If it's hell, I'm in, then it's hell us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold, and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capabilities that